I became a company representative for a film company in Santa Monica. So, to pick up where I left off talking about Filmbreak, Taylor McPartland invited us out to Santa Monica to see the new Filmbreak office. So after I got out of class around 4:30 on March 14th, 2013, Alex Hackworth drove Vishal, Kolar, and I all the way across the county. We were super excited as we talked the whole way there. I'd never even been to Santa Monica before. I'd only heard about it from movies and the news, so I was excited to see such a famous place. We arrived at the address on Colorado Avenue, Santa Monica, and found that it was a shared space building called Cross Campus. This was a brand new concept for us, so Taylor awed us with fancy shared coffee areas, kitchens, a snack bar, and a singular front desk for the whole building. And then led us to a meeting room where he introduced us to his business partner, Alex Kánish. They talked about being happy with our work so far and how they wanted us to be officially hired to do social media marketing and event repping for Filmbreak. They said they couldn't pay us yet, but with things moving in a positive direction, they felt like they'd be able to soon. I realized that my potential to do this was partially dependent upon Alex and Vishal doing it, since I didn't have a car, but we agreed that this would look great on our resumes, and it would be a huge networking boon to be able to attend the events, as long as there weren't any shifts or weekly hours so we could do the non-event stuff on our own time, since we weren't getting paid. But this seemed like it would be good for everyone involved, so we all shook hands on it, and Alex, Vishal, and I officially became members of Filmbreak. We walked out of that meeting both happy and hungry, so Alex took us to Santa Monica Pier afterwards to go to Pierburger, where I had a double Pierburger with fries and a chocolate shake. I'd never been to the pier before, I'd only seen photos, but Alex told us that this was a rite of passage for an Angelino, so we ate some good food and talked about the meeting. Of course, it came up that we wished we were being paid, but we figured the ability to meet other filmmakers and put Filmbreak on our resumes could be better for our careers than just about anything else. So we reaffirmed that it seemed worth it as long as they didn't ask us to do too much. What this taught me was that not every work opportunity includes money. Sometimes it's the free projects, side hobbies, or volunteer opportunities that really pay off down the line, like this job did, as I'll tell you about later. But we finished our burgers and decided to walk around for a bit. I still have the 8 photos that I took on my phone that day. At 6:44 p.m., Alex Hackworth used my phone to take a group selfie of the 3 of us outside of the burger joint. And then we got a passing tourist to use my phone to take a photo of the 3 of us with the sunset in the background. It was a beautiful sunset, so I took a couple more photos of that, and we walked around while we finished our shakes, continuing to discuss Filmbreak and our futures. Remember, I'd never been to Santa Monica before, much less the pier, so I was feeling a little starstruck by the location and was taking in the sights as much as I was talking about Filmbreak. But it was a very important conversation, even though I was taking photos of Santa Monica from the pier, because that was when we officially invited Vishal Kolar to join ATAEC Studios. And he agreed, cementing that all 3 of us were a team looking to conquer Hollywood together, at least for a time. It really felt like the future was opening up in front of us, and we finally had opportunities right at our fingertips. Of course, then Alex drove us back to Whittier College, where I split a dorm room with another classmate with no AC and no heater, so we definitely didn't have delusions of grandeur or anything like that. But this new position meant that we would be attending networking events that they put on, often for people with real talent trying to get into the industry. And I would find out that when trying to break into an area of an industry that feels restricted due to either finances, glass ceilings, lack of connections, whatever it may be, networking and collaborating with others who've also been left out can turn into some of the most meaningful and heartfelt projects that you'll find. You know, I like to have some sort of interesting or funny moments in every video, so for a quick story time, Alex turned on KROQ on the radio in his car while we were on the way back from that Filmbreak meeting, and a show called Loveline was on the air, talking about dating and soulmates and that kind of thing. Maybe it stuck in my head because of my relationship issues at the time, but I heard a quote that for some reason I'll never forget. The radio host said, "You need to get down in the trenches and meet some dirty b****s that you hate. Then you need to meet beautiful women that you can't spend a minute without. Then, after you've experienced a litmus test of women, then decide who your soulmate is." Anyway, tune in next week to hear about how I turned all of my college friends into actors to shoot a classroom scene at Whittier College.